everyone! I am shooting this video in the backyard because tonight is such a great night for me. It's no longer that hot. The stars are out. There's a bit of a hint of maybe a possible rain, but I see a couple stars, so I know that it's not gonna rain tonight. In this video, I think I'd just like to share what I learned from my sisters who live in different countries, and how the braces in those countries are, how much they cost, and how are the availability of the providers and all that kind of stuff. So it was very interesting. I was talking to them maybe a few weeks ago, and I learned a lot about the differences between Canada, Australia, and US when it comes to braces. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about the braces for my sister who lives in Australia. So she's got 2 kids, and one of them is on braces. And here are some of the things that I learned. So in Australia, if the braces are installed by an orthodontist, then it costs more. But if it is installed by a dentist, or taken care of or performed or put on by a dentist, then it costs a lot less. So I think she pays around 6,000 Australian dollars. But if it was an orthodontist, it could go up to $10,000. So compared to the US, it doesn't matter. I think it's the same price when it's dentist versus orthodontist, but I trust the orthodontist more because it's their specialty. And like I've shared in my other videos, when you go with an orthodontist, when you go to an orthodontics compared to a dentist office, a dental office, you've got more flexibility with scheduling, you've got more flexibility with the providers. You don't have to rely on one person alone. So that's Australia versus US. My sister in Canada, it doesn't matter. I think what they said is orthodontist, dentist, it doesn't matter, but theirs is higher cost. So I guess it's Canadian dollars. She had to pay almost $10,000 Canadian dollars. So maybe in US dollars, what is the rate? Is it 1.5? So I guess that's about 7,000 US dollars. So I guess in that respect, it is a lot cheaper in the US. As far as what else? As far as the visits, when we had the pandemic, my sister in Canada, her daughter was not able to do any adjustments or visits because of the quarantine. So they really have strict quarantine rules in their province.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Compared to America. So in the US, even during the quarantine, I was able to see my orthodontist, and I did not have to skip any visit, and therefore I felt like I was able to keep my schedule. And in Australia, it's the same way as US. They didn't really have to worry about the quarantine, although they have strict protocols on their quarantine. There is what they call lockdowns. Maybe I could have a video around comparing contact tracing and also lockdowns, and then containing the virus, comparing the US with Canada and Australia. But yeah, so during the quarantine period compared to the US, Canada, at least where my sister lives in Toronto, she was not able to have a visit with the provider. My sister who lives in Australia, Victoria, was able to. I was able to, although we have strict protocols as well. You know, there's social distancing when I visited my provider. As far as scheduling, I think we have a flexibility with our providers. I think I have the most flexibility because I go to an orthodontist office, so I have the flexibility or access to more than one orthodontist. And so if the one that I don't that I see is not available, then they could always I don't have to worry about the orthodontist availability pretty much. I just have to worry about, okay, in 4 weeks which day is best, and they've always accommodated. I always like Fridays. I always like first thing in the morning on Fridays, or I always like Wednesdays because Wednesday afternoons my son don't have school, so the two of us can go together. And they would even make sure that we are at the same time, so we finish at the same time. So there's a lot of flexibility there. With my sisters, I guess they are more they are more catering to the availability of the office or the provider. All right, guys, it's a short video, but I hope it helped you learn a bit more on how US, Australia, and Canada differ or are similar when it comes to braces, availability, visits, and cost. Thank you, and see you next video. Bye.